a thing.
We do have a scale, but I usually just put a piece of tape over it that says perfect.
I'm here to dispel the myth that somehow this is healthier than this. A conspiracy theory that Big Diet has been metaphorically shoving down our throats for decades.
This is what fitness actually looks like. Lots of actual science has proven there's literally no cardiovascular benefits to exercise. We actually sold the treadmill because no one was using it and replaced it with this, but I gotta do some repairs because someone took a bite out of the back.
Now, January has been a triggering month for all of us after watching an onslaught of fat-phobic New Year's resolutions to morph people's bodies into something quote-unquote more healthy. There's no right or wrong way to do fitness. Sometimes my clients will come in, just smash a big extra, hit the mats, roll around, then shower time. Sometimes they don't come in at all.
That's health.
You know, I for one am sick of all these morbid phobic personal trainers profiting off of you getting in shape. And I'm happy to be part of a new group of personal trainers that's profiting off you staying the same.
You know, it's satire now, but most likely will become reality in just a few years. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. This is Lukadowski of WeAreChange.org. A lot of very important issues to get in today, specifically surrounding the paranoia happening in Washington, D.C. right now when it comes to the inauguration of Joe Biden, which is coming up in just a few days, which we, of course, will be focusing on in this video. But before getting into that, plus a lot more, we also have to acknowledge today as MLK Day. MLK was a famous civil rights religious pastor that for some reason the establishment and politicians are celebrating when they're a part of the same institutions that literally were found guilty in a court of law conspiring to kill MLK. They spied on him, spread disinformation, fake news about him while trying to undermine him every step of the way, but yet now he's celebrated by them, or by organizations like Black Lives Matter that is spending their $10.6 billion on an idea. I'm not joking you, this is not a Ryan Long skit, by the way, an idea to promote twerking for Martin Luther King. Yes, because that is the best way to celebrate a religious pastor. Now, the skit in the beginning was by Ryan Long. It was only a small part of his full video that he just released today. The link to his channel is down below. He does great work, which soon, most likely, will become reality and the new norm. Now, here, as an independent media organization, we wanted to remind you that if every media corporation, conglomerate, big tech monopoly, along with Hollywood and all the Fortune 500 companies support your exact political ideas, guess what? You are not the resistance. As of course, major institutional elements of the, quote, resistance is calling on to push for more internet censorship and for our national discourse to be held in the hands of institutions like MSNBC, the New York Times, Washington Post. Since, of course, as Michael Tracy points out, anything other than hearing from special interest mainstream media publications is, quote, dangerous to our democracy. Yes, because mainstream media institutions like Slate have never been wrong or hypocritical or selectively editorialized how they saw an issue or an event for the benefit of their own special interests. They definitely don't release sensationalistic personal garbage that has absolutely no effect on your life at all, right? Like this New York Post article that you're seeing in front of us right now. And with them being such great arbitrators of truth, why not give them the ultimate sacred decree and right to take out all of their competition and to reign supreme as the major thought police, like CNN did this morning, as they were, quote, shocked about how many conservative influencers they are, and then they talked about the need of YouTube taking them down. You know, because if you're distracted and not watching CNN 24/7 all the time non-stop, you might miss very critically important news articles like this one that are so essential and important to your life that there's absolutely no reason to go without it. The article, of course, in mention is this one titled, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris drop a playlist for your inauguration watch party. Yes, what would I do if I didn't have that vital, critical information to my existence? Thank you, CNN, for your brave and courageous work, always holding power accountable and fighting the good fight. Seriously, such amazing, selfish work that I can't even put a candle to it. But if some way, shape, or form you think I'm maybe as good as CNN, you can support me by purchasing some of my merchandise on wearechange.org/shirts. The link is down in the description below. We just got 4 brand new t-shirts that I think you guys will like this one right in front of you right now. Our Be Careful Not to Spread Fake News t-shirt. This one's my favorite, by the way, that just recently came out. Our Thinking is Extremely Dangerous to Our Democracy shirt. And this one with some spicy words on it that we can't even mention on this YouTube channel, and fears of getting taken down, because we live in a totally free society where you could express yourself any which way you want, right? Now, let's get to the 25,000 military soldiers that are armed and have orders to shoot to kill that are right now entrenching themselves through countless barriers and walls along with barbed wire at the U.S. Capitol and all throughout Washington, D.C. All for, of course, a peaceful transition of power, which should, just on the face value here, make you question a lot of things, and keep your eyes out for possible foul play by other federal government agencies that could be using this opportunity for their own personal benefit. Again, just my own personal theory, but the paranoia and delusion are perfectly propagated by, of course, the U.S. mainstream media that this weekend was fear-mongering and scaring everyone about a big national security threat of civil unrest coming our way, and even of a dangerous man arrested with hundreds of bullets, a firearm, and fake credentials, only to later find out that this was a Park Police employee that actually had a proper pass. And all of this happened because of miscommunication amongst the Secret Service. And of course, the man was let go, but the fear-mongering and sensationalism was already extorted to its fullest extent. The Associated Press is also running with articles like this that are titled, "Defense Officials Tell AP that they fear possible inside attack at inauguration," but later in the article note that there has been no evidence of any threats of any, quote, upcoming violence. And as Michael Tracy points out, quote, "Something tells me that putting no evidence of any threat in that headline wouldn't have generated that many shares and clicks." Now, it is important to note here that, of course, many federal agencies, including the Capitol Police, the NYPD, and the FBI, did have credible threats and even warnings specifically about January 6th and the possibility of violence unfolding at the Capitol. They knew a lot of this was coming, and they were wildly unprepared. Now we're being told that there is no evidence of any warnings, but still the delusional paranoia continues as we're getting information right now of Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi just demanding that Donald Trump stop the appointee of a new National Security General Counsel. We also saw Nancy Pelosi try to talk to the Joint Chiefs of Staff about limiting Donald Trump's presidential war powers. She's now making this move, which literally looks more like a performance and an act than on the basis of any actual kind of larger threat or problem out there. But regardless of that, we're still seeing propaganda pieces regurgitated about mass protests coming our way, with most of the people saying, no, that's not going to happen. Since, of course, the last protest was disastrous for the right and the larger Donald Trump movement, and many people on the right don't want to see a repeat of that at all. And there's even more calls of people being told to stay home rather than, of course, go out there, regardless of the spin that we're seeing of, quote, violent protests upcoming. At least from my perspective, everyone's being told to stay home. Other sensational headlines that we've been hearing on the national media is that there will be an alleged inside attack by National Guard troops during Biden's inauguration that will, of course, take him down. Again, nothing but baseless conspiracy theories that originated just a few days ago, where we had Democratic Congress members demand that all the National Guard soldiers get vetted to make sure that they have no pro-Trump sentiment. This, of course, is being echoed right now by Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, that are also demanding the DOD vet its troops, the 25,000 of them, to make sure that there's no Trump loyalist inside of them. There's also other reports that we are getting that some National Guard troops were actually stripped of their magazines and ammunition, as seen in this photo, with a rifleman holding a firearm that has no magazine inside of it. Now, I think it's definitely fair to say that delusion and fear has definitely gotten the best of some of these U.S. representatives, while others point to potentially something bigger being at play here, which could lead to a kin of a bigger event that might be planned to make the opposition even look worse from here. But yet again, 25,000 National Guard troops are being vetted right now to prevent this insider attack that is not based on any actual evidence or semblance of reality. What are the threats here? They're just literally being made up, and they're being enforced by the top echelons of our government, establishing this high anxiety fear state that is becoming more and more anxious about other people having different political opinions. Now, having security and being prepared is something that, of course, is not too much to ask for, but I think we could all agree the spectacle happening right now in Washington, D.C. is absolutely overblown. Again, that's just my own personal opinion, and there's reason to have security, as previously before in 1984, a communist terrorist group literally bombed the U.S. Capitol trying to promote their Marxist ideas, and these individuals, a part of this group, were pardoned by Bill Clinton, Andrew Cuomo, and some of them are literally working right now organizing for Black Lives Matter. Yes, 40 years ago, the U.S. Capitol was bombed and attacked. And with that kind of history, you would think there would be more of an issue surrounding this very thing, this very event, but surprisingly, there's not. Also, today, shortly, we are going to be finding out about who Donald Trump will be pardoning on his final full day in office. A lot of people are, of course, hoping that Julian Assange rightfully is pardoned. But from my analysis, I do hope that does happen, but will be very, very unlikely, and in my opinion, won't be happening, sadly. Which highlights how, of course, Donald Trump is not doing himself any favors, surrounding himself with individuals like Jared Kushner that have it out for, of course, Julian Assange, and other individuals like Bill Barr that are personally intervening and doing their best and even putting out an effort to preemptively stop the president from pardoning other whistleblowers like Edward Snowden. Now again, Donald Trump hasn't won himself any favors, and as a lot of these stories regarding the security state go unquestioned, I think there is finally something happening with a lot of people seeing through the veil of bull crap surrounding the national security state that always gets its way. Whether with Trump or with Biden, the police state, the military-industrial complex is expanding and will continue to expand unless people start legitimately asking questions and demanding accountability around the issues that actually do matter, rather than, of course, sharing inauguration watch party playlists, which CNN is doing right now. The most trusted name in news that, of course, gets a boost in the algorithm. Whatever you search related in news, you, of course, will always see CNN. Seeing us, never. Videos that play after this one, usually CNN's or Fox or some other corporate-controlled crap like Vice, which again shows you that the game is rigged and we are incredibly lucky to still have a voice, to still reach you. You're lucky you're able to watch videos like this, and you incentivize them by sharing them with your friends and family members. Taking the mouse, double-clicking it, share it, spin the wheel randomly in your DMs and your personal messages, send it to a random person or a random email, send it back to a corporate account. I don't care. Whoever emails you, send them back this video, because your participation and support is more critical than ever. Because you still support me, because you still share these videos, I am here, and this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org.